This is just gonna be one disappointing video, but I'm still filming it. Hi everyone, it's Maddie. Welcome back to my channel. For today, as you can tell, we are going to be doing a wrap up, which I'm going to be doing every single month. Even if I read only like one book, I'm still going to do it because I'm also adding what books I'm going to read for the next month, so you can see, you know, what books I might be reading, and then you can come back and be like, hey, she didn't read that book, because I know I didn't read that book. 3 out of all the other ones that I had, I do not remember. You can go back to my last wrap up. I only read 4 books this month. 3 physical books and 1 Kindle book. Actually, no. It was 2 physical books and 2 Kindle books. We're just gonna jump right into it because I don't think there's a lot of explaining to do. First book that I read for the month is Thorn. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't finish this book until last week, but I'm still adding it for the first book that I read because I did start it first for the month. I do have a video on annotating this book, so if you want to go watch that video, you can. It is spoiler free because it is an annotating video. It's not a full reading vlog, but as you can tell, she is heavily annotated. Oh my god. I can't really explain the whole entire series, mainly just this book, because it does progressively change each book. But this book is about an assassin named Selena Sudorthian, and she gets summoned to the glass castle for this little competition. This competition involves 23 assassins, killers, warriors, thieves. They have to all do this competition in order to become the king's champion, which is very risky, you know, with all these people that, like, you know, you can't really trust because they're mostly like thieves and assassins. And obviously Selena Sudorthian is one of them. For her, it is not just being able to be the king's champion, but it is also to win her freedom. This book has fighting in it. There's a love triangle in this. This world that Selena is in does not have magic anymore because the king has basically destroyed it. Like, it is no longer there anymore. Stuff happens in this castle and it's just a good time. This does say fans of Game of Thrones and the Hunger Games will love it, and I agree. There's just no incest. I gave this book a 4.5 stars out of 5, mainly because I feel like the love triangle in this was very forced, because we have one character who basically treats women the same, not in like a terrible way, but just he's very flirtatious with all of them in the same way. And so he was like that with Selena. And then we got the other one who basically hates her because she's an assassin, and it's like Sarah J Maas basically wrote that character and forced kind of his feelings towards her, because most of the time it's in his head that he does not like her because she's an assassin and he would never love her. But then you get these little bits where it's like, but I want to be with her, and I'm like, where is this coming from? Yeah, it just felt forced. I feel like it could have just been with the one character instead of having the other one. Like, he could have just hated her that whole time. I don't care. They could have just been friends later on and he becomes to like understand her later. I would have been fine with that, but the fact that it just felt forced, that was that. Also, the trials in this book were not as big as I initially thought they were, because I remember them being so like, oh my god, like this, that, and then going back, it's like, that's it. I just felt like they could have been a bit more intense, and I've been like, whoa. But nevertheless, I still really enjoyed it. I love Selena, I love Dorian, I love Nehemia. It was a very good book. 4.5 stars. Next book that I read is Juniper Hill. I was supposed to read it and annotate it like it is annotated right now, but I decided to go onto my Kindle and read it, and boy did I fly through that book. It took me like a day and a half to read. This book is about a girl named Memphis, and she moves into Quincy, Montana, which is this small town. So cute, because she wanted to move away from her old life with her little son Drake, and she also got a job in Quincy, so she thought it would be a fresh start. Thing is, though, she couldn't find an apartment, so her new boss decides that why not live with my brother? He has this loft at the top of his garage, so you can live in there and happily ever after. But obviously he does not like that, and this brother of her boss's is Knox Eden. He is a chef at the hotel that Memphis is working at. That's basically it. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil anything, but oh my god, I love this book. 5 stars. It was so nice to go back and reread this because I love Quincy. It is so nice. I love the Edens. Knox is such a sweetheart. I love him so much. The next book that I read, I finished 2 days ago, but I read this on my road trip and I'm still a little conflicted about this book, but it is Every Summer After by Carley Fortune. This book is about a girl named Persephone, or Percy, whatever name you want to go with. Her parents decided to buy a cottage that they can go to every year to have a break from the city. because they are city people, and then they meet their next door neighbors that live in that town, who are two brothers and a single mum. We have Sam, Charlie and Sue. Percy and Sam decide to become friends, you know, hang out every time that she comes over every year. But something happens, we don't know what, back then, and we come to the present where Sue had passed away and Percy decides to go back for the funeral and to also see Sam. This book is friends to lovers, second chance romance, past and present tense chapters. I don't know how I feel about this book. At the start I gave it around a 4-star until I got to like the last 100 pages, and then I was like, oh. I've seen so many people compare this book to Love and Other Words, and I'm sorry, but this book does not give me the comfort that Love and Other Words did. I can see a bit more of a connection between these characters in this book, but I still love my Macy and Elliot to the day I die. These characters do definitely have their flaws. I loved the past chapters more than I did the present, even though some characters in the past did annoy hell out of me. The present tense chapters were very rushed for absolutely no reason. Like, the chapters were super long, but it's like she decided to rush it. You could have just made the book a bit longer, because I don't know what the hell happened in the present. Like, I did not like what happened at all. Last book that I read on my Kindle. I'm still currently reading this book. By the end of the day, I will have finished this book. But I read / am reading The Mysteries of Thorn Manor, which is a little sequel novella to Sorcery of Thorns. You definitely need to read Sorcery of Thorns before you read this book, because you will be confused as hell. I am 100 pages into this book. I've got 80 pages left because it's only 180 pages. So far, I am giving this book a 4-star, mainly because the start was very chaotic. It feels like there's a lot of scenes just jumping in, you know, so you have this scene and then stops, this scene stop, this scene stop. But I did miss Elizabeth and Nathaniel so much, and I'm so happy I'm able to see like what's happening now. So yeah, so far 4 stars. The first 2 books that I'm going to be reading for February is Empire Storms and Tower of Dawn. I am currently tandem reading it right now. I feel like it's going to be a grand old time, and I am excited to jump back in with these characters. Even though I literally just read Throne of Glass, but with other characters that were in Queen of Shadows and that. It feels like forever since I read that book, I'm not gonna lie. Going on to that same author, still staying on Sarah J Maas, I want to reread A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Court of Mist and Fury. Funny enough, this is the book that I read right after Throne of Glass. I was trying to find Crown of Midnight, didn't find it, and decided to pick this book up. We're gonna go back and reread it and see if my opinions change or anything. And then we also have this chunker of a book, which I'm hoping I will get to. Obviously this is the second book. I started this book after Akata and just I didn't continue it. I probably got like, I think I got up to the wedding. I will be doing a reading vlog for the whole entire series, so stay tuned for that. I might just start off with these 2 books and then do the rest. We'll see what happens. Another series that I want to read / reread is The Hunger Games. I have these gorgeous covers. I cannot tell you where to find them because I tried looking for box set and couldn't find it anywhere. But like, look how stunning they are. And then you've also got like a quote. Yes, I do want to go back and reread these books because I absolutely love the movies and I read these books ages ago back in primary school, so I want to reread them. Another book that I want to read is The Dead Romantics. I've seen some things about these books. I've heard people say that it was better than what they expected. They thought it was going to be not that good, but then they ended up loving it, and so I'm excited and I will hopefully get to it in Feb. Next book that I want to read is A Million Kisses in Your Lifetime. I have seen so much on this book, and recently a lot of negative stuff has gone up about this book, and so I want to see what happens. I know what happens, but I'm still gonna read it anyways. I'm gonna be doing another reread for a book that I absolutely love, and that is Archer's Voice. This is my freaking holy grail book. I love this book so much. It is my favorite romance book ever. Absolutely comforting, and I just love it so much, so I'm excited to go back into this book. Wow, that was all the romance that I have. I only have 2, 3. This is just all bloody series, I swear to God. Another book that I'm going to be reading is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I started rereading this series a couple years ago and only got up to Prisoner of Azkaban, and so I want to continue that reread of the whole series and go on with Goblet of Fire. So we're going to see some Dedrick, and I absolutely absolutely love that. Next book that I want to read for the month is Jade City. I know this book doesn't have romance and I want a bit of a change. I want to see if I can survive without romance. Unless there is a bit of romance, I feel like it'll be like a subplot kind of thing, and I'm okay with that. I don't exactly know. I know nothing about this book or the series, so that is great. I had this book on my TBR for January and I decided to transition it into February TBR because I still want to read it. I have a feeling I won't read it in February, so I might just transition it into a March TBR. But it is Sky Without Stars. Look at this cover. It is stunning. Ooh, the chapters are short. Fantasy book with short chapters. Yes, please. Oh, I am so much more excited now to read this book. Anytime a book has short chapters, I am just more excited. I'm really hoping it does not disappoint me because I'm so excited for it, and then I feel like I'm gonna read it and I'm gonna be so disappointed by it, and I'm just gonna be like, why? Last fantasy book that I want to read for the month is Legendary, which is the second book in the Carnival series. I was not a fan of the first book. It was okay, but people have said that it does get better in the second and the last book, so I'm excited to read them. And I also want to read the other series, Once Upon a Broken Heart. I think that's the other series. The last book that I have is a dystopian book. Oh my god, shocker. Dystopian. I already had dystopian. What was that? Hunger Games. I want to read Legend, which is part of the Legend series, and it is a very short book, so I will get this done in no time. This book has been on Book Talk for an extremely long time, since Book Talk started, and it has been on my TBR for such a long time, and I decided to buy the book while it was on a very, very generous sale, so I got it and I'm excited. I just remembered that I actually did have one more book that I'm going to be reading. It's going to be on my Kindle. The book in question is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. If you don't know her, she's someone on Book Talk that I absolutely love, and I've been with her through this whole book journey of her writing it, getting it published, all this editing and stuff. I am so excited. I've been waiting for this book for such a long time, and it is finally out today, and so I'm about to buy it on my Kindle. The tropes and just everything for this book is amazing, and I'm so excited to read it. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notification bells so you know every time that I upload, and that is it. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!